Hush now and lean in, 'cause the briarback wind's been carrying a tale about a widower with more hope than sense, and two young'uns who loved him enough to keep him upright. It's a story about eggs, mercy, and the kind of luck that don't look like luck till you hold it in your hands. The Troublesome Blessings of Mr. Junebug Tate. Up in the Briarback Mountains, where the ridges roll like old hymns, and the air smells of pine needles and wood smoke, lived Junebug Tate, a widower with a heart too big for his pockets and ideas too big for his budget. His children, Lena and Hobbs, knew their daddy's ways. They loved him, but they also understood one hard truth. If Junebug said, "I got an idea," they needed to grab their shoes, a bucket, and possibly an apology pie. One early summer morning, Junebug sat at the kitchen table, staring at a single crumpled dollar like it owed him rent. "Kids," he said, "your daddy's about to turn this dollar into supper." Lena didn't even look up from plaiting her hair. "Daddy, last time you said that, we ended up eating Sister Pearl's emergency cornbread." "And she made us sing for it," Hobbs added. Junebug waved them off. "This time's different. I'm going to Old Man Roper's farm. He's got a sign says eggs, $1. I'm going to buy one egg, hatch it, raise the chicken, and boom, free eggs forever." Lena blinked slow. "Daddy, $1 buys a dozen eggs." Junebug froze. "It do?" "It do," Hobbs confirmed. Junebug scratched his chin. "Well, that changes the math." But he went anyway. When they reached Roper's place, the old man was asleep on his porch, hat over his face, rocking chair creaking in the breeze. Junebug whispered, "Perfect. I'll just leave the dollar and take my egg." Lena grabbed his sleeve. "Daddy, that's not how buying works." But Junebug was already tiptoeing toward the basket. He picked up one egg, just one, and as he turned, the rocking chair creaked louder. Roper snorted awake. "Junebug Tate," he said, "why you holding my egg like it's a hostage?" Junebug smiled the smile of a man who had run out of explanations 3 ideas ago. "Brother Roper, I was just inspecting the merchandise." Before Junebug could dig himself deeper, Lena stepped forward. "Mr. Roper, Daddy got confused. He thought the sign meant 1 egg for $1. We're here to buy a dozen." Roper laughed so hard his hat fell off. "Lord, Junebug, you trying to raise a chicken from scratch again? Didn't you learn your lesson when that rooster chased you through the churchyard?" Hobbs nodded solemnly. He did not. Roper wiped his eyes. "Take the eggs, children, and take your daddy before he talks me into giving him the whole farm." Back home, Junebug set up a hatchery beside the wood stove. Shoebox, flannel shirt, dish towel, the whole operation. "There," he said proudly, "nature in motion." Lena stared. "Daddy, you can't just put eggs in a box and expect chickens." Junebug winked. "You'd be surprised what grows when you give it hope." For 2 days, he hovered over that shoebox like a mother hen, turning the eggs, humming to 'em, telling them stories about the kind of chickens they'd grow up to be. Meanwhile, Lena and Hobbs cooked the remaining 9 eggs for actual meals because somebody had to keep the household alive. On the 3rd morning, Junebug woke to a soft tapping. Tap, tap, tap. He gasped. "Kids, they're hatching." Lena and Hobbs ran over, eyes wide. Tap, tap, tap. Then, crack. But instead of a chick poking through, the egg split open and spilled exactly what you'd expect from a store-bought egg. Junebug stared, devastated. "My babies." Lena put a hand on his shoulder. "Daddy, these eggs weren't fertilized. Junebug blinked. They weren't what now? Hobbs sighed. Daddy, you can't hatch an egg that ain't got a rooster behind it. Junebug looked at the shoebox, then at his children, then at the ceiling, as if the Lord himself might explain the science. Well, he said finally, that would have been helpful information yesterday. By afternoon, neighbors were stopping by, just to check in. Sister Pearl brought cornbread. Old Man Roper brought a real fertilized egg so Junebug don't lose his mind. And Miss Lottie May brought a small, scruffy chick she'd been nursing back to health. Here, she said, placing the chick in Junebug's hands. This one needs a soft touch. Figured you got plenty of that. Junebug's eyes softened. Well, look at you, little blessing. The chick peeped once, then fell asleep in his palm. Lena whispered, Daddy, you got your chicken. Hobbs added, and you didn't even have to hatch it. Junebug smiled, gentle and proud. Sometimes blessings come scrambled, but they still come. He named the chick Mercy because that's what she was. Mercy followed him everywhere, into the garden, onto the porch, even to the general store. She rode on his shoulder like she owned the place, and though she was tiny, she had the spirit of a full-grown rooster. Lena shook her head. Daddy, that chicken's got your personality. Junebug puffed up. Strong-willed and full of purpose. Chaotic, Hobbs corrected. But Mercy brought something into the Tate household that had been missing since Junebug's wife passed. Laughter that didn't hurt, joy that didn't wobble, and a reason for Junebug to get up early and stay steady. By the end of summer, Mercy had grown into a plump, proud hen who laid eggs wherever she pleased, under the porch, in the laundry basket, once inside Hobbs's shoe. Junebug never did get rich off those eggs. He never built the chicken empire he dreamed of. But he did learn something better. And that's why, when life cracks the plans you set so careful, don't you fret. Sometimes the Lord sends the blessing already hatched, already peeping, already meant for you. All you gotta do is make room for it.